In today's video, I will show you how to train and deploy various machine learning models to Arduino's newest board, Arduino VENTUNO Q. And since right now I am in Arduino headquarters in Turin, Italy, you can hear more about the new board from people who designed it and not an amateur like myself. So it's the second one of the Q boards, the VENTUNO Q after UNO Q. What's so special about this one?
Well, we're very excited about the VENTUNO Q because it really, takes, our boards based on Qualcomm technology to the next level. It packs a wealth of, features and capabilities, starting, of course, from the, IQ 8275, chipset from the Dragonwing series, industrial-grade chipset with, 8-core CPU and an NPU, which is, the Hexagon NPU, and a GPU, of course. It packs 16 gigabytes of, LPDDR5 RAM, 64 gigabytes of eMMC built-in memory with preloaded operating system and all the tool chains and developer tools and so on. Of course, a microcontroller, which is an STM32 F5, which is really one of the latest entry in the STM32 lineup, catering directly to robotics and physical AI kind of scenarios, and a wealth of IOs, right? From advanced MIPI-CSI camera IOs for multiple cameras input. You can basically process multiple videos at the same time, and then of course a wealth of different ports, right? HDMI, USB 3, Ethernet, gigabit Ethernet, USB-C for both power and data, and from power delivery to DisplayPort and so on. You have barrel jack connection for lab or desktop power, and also screw-in connectors if you want a more kind of stable type of power supply in maybe mobile condition and so on. On the top, you basically see the shape of the same UNO Q and same UNO shape. You have, the traditional Arduino shield connectors, right? And it's compatible with Arduino shields and so on. We have 40-pin hat connectors for, accessories that people might have, laying around that want to use it. More importantly, there is a debugger, port and an M.2, connectors for people that want to add storage and so on. On the back of the board, we have the same carrier connectors that you see on the UNO Q, and it's compatible with the same accessories and the same carriers, like we call them. And you have a brand new connector, right? That is called JE Media. That is basically, exposing a deluge of, IOs and GPIOs directly, connected to, the different subsystems on the board. Last but not least, the infamous, LED matrix, which is, always nice. It's a very useful tool, to get, visual feedback, from what you actually do on the board.
Yeah, so the board packs a lot of things. You already heard about some of them from Marcella, but actually that was not it. So there obviously is an Arduino style connector right here, and then Raspberry Pi 40-pin connector. Apart from that, there is something else that I might be forgetting.
Yes, one example is CAN-FD.
Yes.
Right, it's actually available from the the screw connector, and you can use it to connect to any CAN bus enabled devices, from motor control to any type of field accessory.
Plus, one thing I was looking for, and I was really happy to find, is the quick connector for connecting various Modulino sensors and other accessories as well.
Correct.
Plus, apart from that, there is Wi-Fi and Bluetooth, and the NPU on the board is the, as we mentioned, QCS 8275. It's an 8-core. There are 4 high-performance cores, and then there is 4 power efficiency cores. There, it also has the GPU, and then 40 TOPS dense compute NPU, all packed tightly in this package. Similar to UNO Q is the part about the dual brain because there is QCS 8275, plus there is an MCU. And what is so special about the dual brain architecture here? What's the purposes and applications for it?
Well, you see, especially when you think about AI applications, right? We are past beyond that phase where AI is just a prompt that you interact with a keyboard in, right? This board is all about connecting AI with the real world, and of course, in order to connect to the real world, first you need to sense the real world. So you need to capture data from sensors, from any type of field signal, right? And then you need to actuate. You need to apply change to the real world, right? And you need to operate actuators, you need to connect with the field bus, or you need to just drive a motor and so on. For this, which is an activity that requires very real-time control, right? You need an MCU. This is why the combination of very powerful chip like the Q8275 plus a very capable and well-equipped microcontroller is the best combination to have something that is not just an AI brain but also can be connected to a body, right, and being able to control parts and interact with the real world.
Yeah, it's like the slogan goes, where AI takes action, right? So that's the dual brain architecture. By the way, so the MCU part is Cortex M33, and it has more memory, both RAM and flash, than on the Q1. So exactly for more demanding applications. Now let's create a fun application that uses both Edge Impulse train model and a large language model running directly on device. We will have our custom object detection model predicting the class of the gesture, an LLM responding to the outcome of the game. The first step is to collect the data, namely photos of rock, paper, and scissors signs from me and a bunch of people in Arduino office. Download the zip archive with data collection app in App Lab. And then import it into the App Lab. Once you enter, you can see it consists of reusable elements, so-called brick, and also custom Python code that actually uses parts of that brick. Now let's press the run button, and after a short while, it will open the web page automatically. To send the data to Edge Impulse, we will need an API key. You can get the API key from the dashboard keys page of your project. So just copy it here and paste it to the data collection page, like that. And then we are able to collect the samples. Capture, capture, and then maybe change the position and capture, and then there is another one, and then there is another one, and another one, and yet another one. The trick with the data collection is the variety. If I only record my own pale programmer hands in this lightning, the model is going to learn my hands and not the gesture. So I'm going to go out and grab as many different people as I can. Big hands, small hands, ring sleeves, different skin tones, hands coming from the left, from the right, and so on. The more messy real-world variety data we feed into the model, the less embarrassment will there be for us later. Nice. Once we have around 30 pictures for each label, actually we have more, we can start with labeling all the data. We have some tricks to do it faster in Edge Impulse, and after that we will continue with configuring and training the model. Okay, the most labor-intensive part is done, which is the labeling of the pictures, and We can go to Create Impulse now and configure our whole data processing pipeline, which includes pre-processing, neural network model, and optional post-processing. So let's configure the image size here. Set to squash, choose image pre-processing block, then add an object detector, save impulse, and go to generate features, save default parameters. I use the default parameters and then generate features. That's gonna take a moment. Now the features are done and we're going to configure the object detection. Since this board is quite powerful, we actually going to use our YOLO Pro model, which is the homegrown variety of YOLO detector researched by Edge Impulse. And set training cycles to 50, and then size medium works very well on VENTUNO Q. And we're going to start training. That will take roughly a moment, so we're going to have a brief cup of tea. Once the model is trained, and we can say it's trained now, it has a pretty good mean average precision. Recall is okay as well. So we can go to live classification and test it out on a random sample that we had. All right, so this is indeed the paper. We can do a few of them and then also do the model testing. And when we're happy with the model, then we can go to deployment and then search for VENTUNO Q. And that press the build button. And there will be a separate button on a successful deployment to send the model back to App Lab. While we are building the model, let's download the example that we're going to be running. This is the rock, paper, scissors app. So we're essentially going to do the same thing. We're going to download the zip archive. Then we're going to go back to App Lab. Make sure that this app, the data collection app, is stopped. Go to the apps, create new app, import app, and then import the rock, paper, scissors. Voila. Okay. Great. So here we have the three bricks. There is a web UI and video object detection and large language model. We can configure a large language model first. Go to AI models and we will need to download the model. We'll choose Gemma 4 E2B. That will be more than enough for our purpose. And let's go back to Edge Impulse and see how's it going here. Okay, perfect. You see I have the built Arduino VENTUNO Q model, and then we can press the Go to Arduino button. You do need to be logged in the same account into Edge Impulse and App Lab for this to work. Okay, and then we're going back to rock, paper, scissors, video object detection, and okay, let's make sure that we also connected to Edge Impulse Studio. Okay, perfect, it's now connected. There is our project, I can see it here, since we already deployed to Arduino Uno Q and VENTUNO Q. Then, okay, perfect. Now we see the models here. And we are going to use rock, paper, scissors game project. Download it. Now, before pressing run, remember to stop the data collection example if you have it running to avoid both of them fighting for the camera. Okay, let's press run. Perfect. We see the browser page, and then we're just going to show, okay, that's paper, that's scissors, and this is rock. So my draw is going to be paper. I'm going to keep the sign like that with the web camera, and then play around. And we see the comments from the large language model coming on the screen. Let's try another one. play around. That was a draw, by the way. And then Arduino Vint, let's say, okay, the machine gleams like a new gem. And let's do one more with the rock. Okay, perfect. So as you can see, we just had the edge impulse model detecting the gestures. It worked really well after just maybe 100 samples. And there was an LLM running right here on VENTUNO Q as well that was reacting to the outcome of the match. You can see it's really easy to create powerful applications combining custom neural networks with large language models, all running on the same board without internet connection. Share your ideas on what you build with VENTUNO Q in the comments below.